friends, welcome back to my channel All Kinds of Astrology and Foreign Travel. Hope you are doing well. As I explained earlier, I will complete the basic fundamentals of astrology videos soon so that I can come up with more interesting videos on astrology. To witness the magic of astrology, you need to know the basic first, right? In my earlier videos, I told you that I will teach some magical techniques of astrology. By knowing the same, you can predict anything. You can predict marriage timings, details of your spouse, education, jobs, nature of a person, family, childbirth, even death timing also you may predict. But to reach that level, you need three things, okay? First, your interest to know this beautiful subject. Second, you need to gather practical experience to achieve perfection. You need to study many, easy and complex horoscopes both. After knowing all the techniques of astrology, you can study, right? So I'll teach you the techniques. And number 3, you should have patience to learn more than 4 to 5 techniques of astrology. Okay, at least 4 to 5, so that you can get into the perfection level. For example, Nadi astrology, Vedic astrology, numerology, palmistry, KP astrology, and of course Hora or Prashna Kundali techniques, which is very important. Okay, so if you learn more than 2 or 3 techniques or 4 techniques, so you can achieve the perfection. You can guess the timing of events perfectly. Okay, so this is very important to understand. Okay, now today we'll discuss about the relationships between planets. Okay, this is a very important video if you want to learn astrology or predict things accurately. See friends, each planet has relation like friendly, enemy and neutral relation with each other. See this table friends. So friends, can you see this table? See, I have written down all the planets and their enemy planets, friends, and their neutral planets. Okay, so let's start with Sun. So 3 friends here I have written. Sun have friendship with Moon, Mars, and Jupiter. Sun sees important. See, there is an important saying in this. So you don't compare this with human relationships. Okay, so I'll talk about it later. First, understand this. So Sun have friends with Moon, Mars, Jupiter. So Sun sees Moon, Mars, and Jupiter as his friend. Okay, Sun sees Venus and Saturn as his enemies, and Mercury is at the neutral position. So Sun sees Mercury neither as an enemy or as a friend. Okay, so it's a neutral position for Mercury, for Sun. Okay, now coming to Moon. So Moon, here you can see Sun and Mercury is Moon's friend. At least Moon sees Suns and Mercury as its friends. Okay, enemy, Moon doesn't have any enemy. Okay, it sees all planets equally except Sun and Mercury as his friends. So all other planets, you see Mars, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter is in neutral position to Moon. Okay, Mercury. So Mercury sees Sun and Venus as friends. Okay, and Mercury sees Moon as its enemy. Okay, and neutral position with Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter. Venus. Venus sees Mercury and Saturn as friends, again enemy with Sun and Moon, and neutral position with Jupiter and Mars. Next, Mars. Mars sees Sun, Moon, and Jupiter as its friends, and Mercury as enemy, and Saturn and Venus as in neutral position. Okay, neither friend nor enemies. Next, Jupiter. Jupiter sees Sun, Moon, and Mars as its friends, okay? And Jupiter consider Mercury and Venus as its enemies, and it shares a neutral relationship with Saturn. Last but not the least, Saturn, okay? Saturn sees Venus and Mercury as its friends. Of course, we all know Saturn sees Sun, Moon, and Mars as its enemies. So, whenever in any horoscope we see Sun and Saturn and Mars together, we can predict accordingly that there will be, fights, or there will be trouble and we see the transit that in that particular year, we can predict that there will be trouble for the native. So we'll talk about it later. So Saturn's having a neutral relationship with Jupiter here, okay? So friends, in this table you might have noticed few things, like especially two things. You might have a common question. If a planet sees a particular planet as its friend, so why not that particular planet does not think the same? Now see, I'm giving an example. Suppose Jupiter sees Venus as its enemy, okay? But Venus doesn't consider Jupiter neither as his friend nor as the enemy. Shares a neutral relationship. Okay, how is that possible? See, we all know that Jupiter is the Dev Guru, okay, the Guru of gods, and Venus or Shukracharya is the Guru of Asuras. So they have their own differences. Now here's the best example. See, here the best example is the relationship between Moon and Mercury. As you can see in this table, that Moon considers Mercury as its friend, but on the contrary, Mercury considers Moon as his enemy. Do you know the reason why? There is a story in mythology, but I am not going to say that now. I'll share the story later. But let us understand this logically, okay? I always say that astrology is an ancient science. Listen carefully, friends, okay? In astrology, Mercury represents intellect and communication, and Moon generally represents emotions, okay? Emotions, on the other hand, love intellect, okay? Because intellect enables communication through which emotions express themselves. So the Moon, who represents emotions, needs Mercury, the communication enabler, who also represents intellect. Okay, so I'm repeating myself again to you know let you all understand the logic. See, Moon and Mercury. Okay, Mercury represents intellect and communication. Moon represents emotions. Okay, so now intellect generally feels bothered by emotions. So that is the reason Mercury does not like the Moon. Now, emotions, on the other hand, love intellect. Why? Because intellect enables the communication, because Mercury is the communication enabler. So emotions can express themselves. Okay, so through which uh, they express themselves, they communicate with others, they share their emotions, right? So the Moon, who represents emotions, needs Mercury, right? So hope you have understood this. So I don't think this logic has been explained by any other astrologer here. Anyways, let's move on. See friends, you need to understand one thing, that it's not like human relationships. Every planet has its own characteristics, okay? They have different responsibilities, bigger responsibilities. Also, I have not mentioned Rahu and Ketu in this table. Friends, in astrology, we consider Rahu and Ketu as Chayagraha or replica planets, okay? Wherever Rahu and Ketu sits in, in your horoscope, okay, if you see Rahu is placed in this position or Ketu is position in this particular house, please see the respective house lord. Okay, you need to see the position of the original house lord. First determine whether that particular house lord is in a good position or bad position. Rahu or Ketu will give results accordingly. Okay, see, but there are differences, few differences in Nadi astrology, which I'll discuss in my upcoming videos. Okay, so Nadi astrology doesn't, go with the Vedic astrology hand by hand. So it has its own rule. So I'll definitely discuss this with you in my upcoming videos.